So can a very simple and very easy setup change really alter your delivery characteristics that much?
I'm someone who has a tendency to get a little bit open with my shoulders at address.
Yep.
I kind of feel like I have to more go a bit this way.
Yeah.
This is where the club face is pointing.
4 out to in, 4 degrees up, face slightly closed.
In my takeaway, I feel like I can take it deeper and a bit wider, which for me really creates this feeling of space here. Oh, that's close.
Lovely neutral delivery there, slightly from the inside, slightly closed.
But if you're 10 out to in and you can get it to 3 or 4 by doing this feel, like that's massive win.
Well, today we're going to be testing and demonstrating certain little setup tweaks that both myself and Tom do find helpful, and we're going to show you exactly what that change is in the delivery characteristics from simple tweaks, also talking through whether or not that's actually a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what you actually need. And also later, I'll talk you through my on-course setup. The balls are now going to be outside my left foot. My hips are pointing probably a bit left and my shoulders get massively left. My shoulders are probably pointing.
Yeah, nice.
Well, if you did what I'm doing now, you'd probably get 10 left and you'd be hitting just high, spinny, floaty cuts that go nowhere. It's a bit wild, it's a bit out there, a bit different, but why it works for me and helps me keep that ball in play a little bit more often. Okay, Tommy boy doing the hitting first. So obviously going to separate 2 data sets, one with the driver close to the ball, one with it quite far away from the ball. First up, we're going to be close to the ball. So obviously keeping your setup same, really, ball position exactly the same. Just shove that driver up right next to the ball. Let's hit a set, see what it does.
Interesting.
Actually sounded pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a little bit high heel.
Okay.
But yeah.
Just saying interesting because you've just been hitting like 20 drives and every single one's been out in the middle, and as soon as the camera goes on, you neck it a bit. So every time.
It wouldn't be me if I didn't start with the neck, let's be honest.
No, it wasn't too bad. It was a little heely. Cool. So quick touch on the parameters of that. Hitting 4 out to in, 4 degrees up, face slightly closed. So actually we only got that little bit left to right because of the heel strike. If you'd hit that out in the middle, would have started left and actually drawn slightly. 102 club speed, 235 carry, 17 yards left of the target line. Yeah, sounded really good, mate.
Yeah, just a little bit heely again, but not too bad. Fairly functional.
Holding down the left a little bit, but yeah, a tiny bit in the heel again. Similar pattern, slightly left. 240 carry, 258 total. So just talk to me a little bit about, so normally you do set up with the club quite far back from the ball, don't you?
I do, yeah, sort of a good 5-6 inches back. It's just how I set up, that feels the most comfortable to me.
Yeah.
I'm someone who has a tendency to get a little bit open with my shoulders at address.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've done over the years is I've realized that by pulling back that club position, it actually allows me to stand square to the target line and to the ball. And then I make what feels to me like a much more neutral move.
Yes. I think that's one of the most interesting things about this. Now, player to player, this is going to be different because ball position is going to be a massive variable in that equation. Someone has the ball position right far forward, and then you're trying to get that club almost, to it. You're going to end up almost doing that. So you're absolutely correct. And we'll touch on what I do later, but it's not dissimilar at all.
Goodness me.
Getting away with it.
Yeah, it just feels like really uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Like really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well,
it's something you're not used to doing, right? Technically. So
no,
a little bit of these results with pinch of salt, but it'd be interesting to see what it does to the delivery dynamics. Again, they're not dissimilar, about 4 out to in, hitting it slightly necky, right? Similar distance. So is there anything else you're feeling like has to happen when this is pushed further forward?
Yeah, so when that club's right up behind the ball, because actually to get that club behind the ball, it almost has to kind of come up and meet it. It feels like I'm actually pointing the loft of the driver up the left-hand side. So I feel like in the takeaway, again, instead of coming a bit more neutral, I kind of feel like I have to more go a bit this way.
Yeah.
This is where the club face is pointing. So that then feels to me like if I don't do a big reroute, I'm basically always going to be a bit out to in, is what it feels like when I do that. And that's my body alignment and everything as standard. The only thing I've really moved is that club face forward, but obviously that pulls my shoulder alignment left, is what it feels like to me.
And if everything pulls left, like I say, everything orients left, and then to almost compensate, if you didn't want the face to point left, you almost then have to sort of like offset the handle like that, and then it all becomes a bit skew whiff sort of thing.
Just all feels like I'm going to hit a very much an out to in path from that position, is what it feels like to me, which doesn't feel natural anymore.
There we go.
Yeah, that was a little better. It's actually a high toe, that.
That's a good place to do it, that.
Yep.
Yeah, good carry. Yeah, there you go. High toe. Good. Okay. I mean, it's a very consistent pattern. That was the straightest. All the other 4 have been down the left side. One slightly bigger, 3 in play, 1 down the middle. But it's a very consistent pattern. Path 4, 3, 4, 4, 4. So we're averaging 4 out to in, averaging slightly closed, averaging 5 up, which to be honest is a pretty good window to be in for you, in fairness. And then from a ball flight perspective, that's got us 144 ball speed, 14.5 launch, 2,800 backspin, 240 carry, 259 total. So it'd be interesting if anything there changes, but obviously more so it's going to be interesting to see on that club delivery page if anything there really changes. Path, angle of attack, face, strike, etc. So let's go to what you would deem to be your more normal setup, which is obviously, do you feel like your sternum's pointing like right of the ball at address?
No, so I feel like I'm facing straight down at the middle point of my setup now.
Okay.
So whereas before, when I had it forward, just by dragging that club forward, it felt like my shoulders were actually pointing more, or my sternum was pointing more towards the corner of the wall.
Yeah.
Which then felt really quite uncomfortable. Even just taking the club back, I was having to like stand over it 3 seconds to think about how to get it.
Yeah.
It was actually that, to me, just feels like I just take the club, drop it down in front of me, sort of right on my sort of belt buckle, and just hold it there. It's probably sitting about 4 to 5 inches behind the ball now.
Yeah.
It just feels really nice. Everything feels very squared off to me now.
Cool. All right, let's hit a few like this, and we'll see what happens. Nice drive.
That was actually struck nice as well, yeah. Bit spinny.
Yeah. Well, I think that high toe a second ago probably did you a favour. We know the high toe is a low spin part of the head, and we know you can get a bit spinny at times. But instantly, yeah, more middle strike, which is great. Like I say, a bit too much spin. 6 up, 0.6 out to in. So that path's dramatically become more neutral. Angle of attack more up. Both of those things are obviously heavily linked. The more out to in, typically the more down. The more into out or more neutral, the more up we get. So yeah, much more neutral delivery, angle of attack up, and much better strike. It's nice.
Yeah, that was hammered. To be fair.
Definitely, I think we always find this in here, the driver just goes a bit too high for you, doesn't it, when you hit it well?
This driver, yeah, is probably set up more for comfort than it is for distance, just because it spins a bit.
Yeah.
I find I keep it on the planet a little bit more.
Yeah, 3-2. It is too high spin. But again, speed's good, path slightly out to him, but it's down to 0.8. Angle of attack comes more up. And again, striking in a good window, mate. It's nice.
So the other advantage I feel like I've got from setting that club a little bit further back and getting more squared off in my setup is, in my takeaway, I feel like I can take it deeper and a bit wider, which for me really creates this feeling of space here.
Yeah.
And I feel like on that other setup, because I was a bit more closed off, I felt like there wasn't a lot of space in my downswing for my hands to move into.
Yep.
Which maybe is why I was healing it a little bit.
Yeah,
in my mind.
Yeah. I mean,
So having that more space really feels like I can get the club down into this area and then really kind of throw it.
Go through it. Yeah. Again, this is going to be interesting. It's all relative to what you need and what you're trying to achieve, right? But I think the vast majority of people that watch this and play golf struggle with getting a bit steep, bit across it, slicing the ball a little bit. So something like that, creating that depth, being able to feel like we turn more into that right hip, like I say, get those hands deeper, get them shallowing a bit better in the downswing, giving you a much better path through into impact, and being able to actually effectively release the club head from there to square the face, potentially for a lot of people watching could be infinitely better. That was nice.
Yeah, that was struck quite nice, that actually. That might even
down
be
the left, but it's pretty much it's long.
150 ball, mate, on camera.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's great strike, zero path, face fractionally closed, but again, 254, 274. And I mean, the ability to, okay, we wouldn't mind the path obviously being a touch more right than that if the face is going to be that close. The face there is obviously a little bit too closed. You could get away with that because for you, everything is finishing left of the line. So you just could aim right and play a little pull draw because everything is basically doing that at the moment. But path more neutral, again, angle of attack more up. The one thing that it would do for a player like you with this driver delivery is if you can neutralize path, and that will allow you to get more of a closed face, that will bring loft down. There we can see the spin comes down to 2.7. Efficiency goes up because it's more of a square impact. So more efficiency, more ball speed, a little bit more swing speed because you're coming from a better place to release the club, brings the spin down. That will increase distance, make a more penetrating, more forward ball flight, and everything really just becomes that little bit better.
Oh, that's close.
Can you take it? I mean, it didn't sound like the best. Bit high in the face.
A little bit high on the face, yeah. Dead straight though.
Yeah, absolutely take it, mate.
Dead straight.
Yeah, tiny bit high toe.
High.
Nice neutral delivery though. Nice.
I do feel like for someone who's struggling to hit up more and struggling with that little bit of an out to in path, I do feel like this is addressing those two things though. I really do. I really do. And obviously at the moment, I'm not someone who massively struggles. I can get a little out to in, maybe 3 or 4. But if you're 10 out to in and you can get it to 3 or 4 by doing this field, like that's a massive win.
Super straight, mate.
Yeah, just a little bit lofty, but actually a pretty good drive, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd absolutely take it. Again, we do need to do another little driver fit for you, to be fair, don't we? So if you want to see a driver fit with Tom, comment below. But again, strike pattern, very good. Lovely neutral delivery there, slightly from the inside, slightly closed, effectively almost a functional draw delivery. It's just super, super neutral. So we saw a very, very straight ball flight, hitting 7 up. Yeah, it's pretty much everything we expected to see realistically, right? We see a little bit more ball speed coming from when we were further back, and we'll see why that was in a moment. Interesting, launch and spin does go up. Again, when we look at the club data in a moment, we'll see exactly why that has happened. Carry, we did get 6 extra yards, obviously coming from that extra ball speed. But the actual dispersion, left to right, I mean, it's a very similar pattern. We were effectively ending up down the left side with both of these, just in slightly different shot patterns, which you can almost see there a little bit in that dispersion map. You can see the blue line almost going right to left a little bit, and the red line going left to right a little bit. So ending up in a similar place, just getting there in a slightly different way. So into that club data, first thing, strike, top right there, definitely moved a little bit more central when we moved the driver back. Now, the two big things that we're going to see is path and angle of attack. So the path, when we had it close, it was 4 degrees left on average with a 5 degree up angle of attack. As soon as we moved that club 5-6 inches back, path neutralized, went to 0, and the angle of attack went more up, which we know those two things are very, very linked. When the path moves more inside, we're probably going to get more up. Face was actually similar. Looks quite different there, 5 and 2, but that's just because that's showing us face to target, not face in relationship to path. So at the top where the face was 5 left, the path was 4 left, so it was only 1 closed. As soon as we moved it back, path was 0, face was 2, so face was 2 degrees closed. So effectively 1 degree closed to 2 degree closed, not too different really. We do see more loft when we moved it back, but that's only because we hit more up. Generally speaking, when we hit more up, we add more loft, and that is why we saw more launch and more spin. So again, even from a fitting perspective, if you've got these two different players and you make this change, you need a very different driver all of a sudden. Like with your second time around, we definitely, even first time around, but definitely second time around, we'd be going lower spin head design, lower loft, bring that launch down, bring that spin down, and that would gain 10, 15, maybe even 20 yards of distance. So even this small tweak would result in a very different driver fitting. Speed ended up slightly more when we moved it back. We did see a couple more mile an hour coming from time to time with that. Could have just been you, to be fair, but theoretically getting the club in a more shallow position, enabling you to release it better, would generally lead to a little bit more club speed, which we did see, and a little bit more efficiency from the more middle strike, and that is why we saw more ball speed in the club head data. It's a lot of waffle there. Got any questions, post them below.
So we're going to do exactly the same thing with Ross. We're going to start off with the club at the front.
Yep.
So take setup and talk us through a little bit about how you feel with your ball position, where that kind of sits. And
yeah, because I mean, I do have my ball position miles forward, like
yes,
pretty much kind of like left toe, maybe even in front of left toe,
okay,
which a lot of people find a bit baffling. But I play my 7-iron where a lot of people play their drivers.
Fair enough.
And again, I think that for me is just something I've become comfortable with. Similar to you, I feel like because my path is naturally very inside, if I put the ball sort of normal, I feel like I almost have to do that sort of feeling to actually like feel like if I get there, I almost like I need to hit it there with a square face. If I hit it there with a square face, well, it's not a square face, it's pointing miles right.
Okay.
I just hit massive blocks.
Interesting. Yep.
So similar to yourself, with the ball forward, I would normally sit the club. If that's there, I would normally sit it quite a long way back of the ball.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not a bad shot, to be fair.
No, very functional. It's good.
I actually think this setup might just be a bit low spin for me hitting this shot, but yeah, 1900 spin with a thin. It's probably is too low spin, but
wow, yeah, okay. So yeah, launched 11.5, spinning at just under 1900. Efficiency was pretty good, but yeah, I mean, you're always very inside. Like your path generally sits 4 to 5 inside as your natural kind of draw delivery.
Which is another reason why I move it forward. It's almost a bit of a band-aid because we know if we move the ball further forward, the path moves more left.
Going to catch it later on the arc.
So if I put, just for fun, I'm going to hit one quickly with the ball just inside left heel, which to me feels miles back.
Okay.
Just to see what happens quickly.
Interesting.
That's exactly what it feels like, because it feels like I'm just going to never have enough time to square the face.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of what you said, wasn't it, when you were chatting through the setup, is like that makes it feel like you're going to hit a big block.
Yeah.
It's almost like you just don't have time, like you said, for that face to catch up in the way that you want it to.
For how I move, yeah. So we get, obviously, ball position moves back, we get less up, more from the inside, not enough time to square the face, and I hit 40-yard push blocks, which is not ideal.
Not
right,
ideal.
Anyway, delete that one. That's a little test, but...
Yeah, swing.
That was about me so hot, this driver, isn't it? Playing this shot, I would need more loft. This is just the standard Elite 9 degree, if anyone is wondering.
Yeah, so again, launched it a little bit on the low side. Definitely spun it a bit low. And for you as well, you are somebody who does like to hit up on the ball, so it definitely looks like your angle of attack's a little bit more, it's not down by any means, but it's just not as up.
Less up, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely golf shot, that.
Might actually have some spin on it. That was a bit thin.
Mm.
Just, it does feel like a lot of work.
Does it?
Yeah. I know I'm fit, but I'm out of breath already and I've hit about 5 drivers.
So if we just take a look at the averages then, so around 4.5 degrees on the up, 4.5 degrees from the inside, head speed around 114, which is kind of pretty much your natural speed, right? And 144 efficiency, you were striking it pretty well, in fairness, just maybe a little bit on the low side, which again is kind of your strike.
Yep.
And then average carry around that 284, average ball about 163.5.
Yeah, I'd be very interested now to see from a path perspective what happens if I go back to a bit more normal.
I'd be intrigued to see, and the main ones for me is going to be path and angle of attack. I think those are the things that I think potentially will change.
This is normal if I'm trying to play a draw. In fairness, if I was on the course, I wouldn't do any of these things, but we'll show you that in a minute. So yeah, ball position stays pretty much left toe. And like you said, I kind of just feel like my chest is pointing, for me, it probably is pointing 6, 7, 8 inches back of the ball. And the club kind of does sit in a similar position. So it does feel like the club may be pointing a little bit right. And to me, it feels like my chest and my sort of hips are pointing a bit more right as well.
Okay, cool.
Feels like.
Yeah, nice ball. It's a really good golf shot, that one, mate.
Absolutely.
Almost pitched the green. I did pitch the green. Front edge. Be interested to see the numbers because that was a very different ball flight. Yeah, so strike was pretty good in quite a similar position, to be honest. Yeah, launch comes up a bit, spin comes up a bit. 4.8 up, so hitting probably on the higher side of where you were. Interestingly, path has stayed very similar. Just that face control got a little bit better there, I think.
Got a bit more inside, isn't it? I think what we averaged 4.
Yeah,
4.5.
4.
So it's definitely got a bit more inside, which I'd expect. But interestingly, speed jumped as well. 166 ball speed, 115 club speed.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Not massive, but I would expect it to be a little higher. I think it's going to be easier again. I just feel like we said, from this position, you come in there, down. It just feels more natural just to go there. There's like no restrictions.
Yes.
And I think we touch on this a lot when people go about club speed. And I'm like, well, getting in a position to allow the speed to happen wide, get the hands in that better spot, and now you can go.
Yes.
As soon as you're in a position where you're either steep or out or across, or like you just can't release the club.
Yeah. Yeah, lovely golf shot. Really good.
Go on.
Really good.
Pitched within a couple of yards of each other, didn't they?
Ball definitely goes through a different window, doesn't it? So you can see there, just path more inside, angle of attack more up, basically exactly the same as what you saw with me. But now launch is coming up. That spin's getting into a bit more of an optimal window, and yeah, carries picking up. Like I said, that speed is definitely there, isn't it? Yeah, nice swing.
Come up. It's trying.
That's
Again,
pretty
it's
good.
a little off the bottom, but definitely enables me to it just seems to get a little bit more pop, doesn't it, as well, which is nice.
Yeah. We were just saying then off camera, it's actually quite interesting because for me, I think this kind of setup change or drill or whatever you want to call it really benefits me because of my delivery, because I'm someone who can get a bit out to in naturally.
Yeah.
So for me, it brings me back to a much more neutral place.
Yeah.
But same for you, somebody who can get a little bit inside anyway.
Yeah.
Sort of those things that might get you a bit more inside and a bit more up.
Yeah.
May not be the best for you. So again,
Yeah.
this is like player specific, right?
Yes, 100%.
But we see way more people that come in steep out to in across the ball, hitting down on driver, than we do people who come too far from the inside and hit up too much.
Yeah.
Like way, way more. So for most people who have that kind of tendency, this would probably be a good thing to try.
100%.
But
yeah.
for someone like you,
No, well, exactly that. Like,
tough.
Because when I do get 6, sometimes 7 inside, that does bring in a bit of a two-way miss.
Yes, of course it does. Yeah.
It blocks, and then I get the face a bit too close. So that's why I don't do this on course, and we'll do my on-course swing quickly in a minute to show you what I do and why I do it. But you're right. For you, it gets your path in a bit more of a neutral position where you can release a little bit better, and it gets rid of that sort of like high right spinny one. For me, getting 2 inside, maybe actually not the best thing to do. But same as in fitting, coaching, good for you, bad for me.
Yeah, good
It
swing.
was just thin. I just keep thinning it a bit. But
Very straight though, mate. Very straight.
I mean, you'd take it, yeah. I mean, the pattern is the same, right? That was a bad strike, but you're still on green from 300, so I'm going to take it. I only missed that, it was so low. Pattern's the same, right? So more inside, more up.
More inside, more up.
It's just that simple, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Like more inside, more up, and probably a little bit more speed.
Yes.
Same as you, really.
Exactly that. Yeah.
I think everything we've touched on, it explains why that is the case.
Yeah. And I suppose for me as well, I don't know if we've seen it so much with you, my ability to control strike becomes a little bit easier with that setup change as well. I feel like I'm more likely to hit it more middle. I do feel like when I get out to in, I very much see that correlate with my heel strike.
Yes.
So for me, it also tidies up a little bit of that heely strike as well.
Yeah, gets that hand. People say, you know, from a heel strike perspective, toe strike perspective, if I'm trying to toe it, first thing I'm trying to do is get those hands low and into the body. It's going to hold that club in and move that strike. If anything toe side, you get a bit too that way.
Throw the hands
heel
out.
all day.
Yeah, heel all day. Agree.
Okay.
Cool.
So it'd be interesting now just to try a couple of my golf course swings.
Yeah?
Yeah. Now,
have we got a wide enough fairway?
Probably not. Probably not. And
Okay.
it'd be interesting to see what you see on the camera and what you see from back, because when I'm trying to play a fade, like my shoulders probably get dramatically loud. Now it's interesting in here, obviously it's at square mat and we're aligning to a square target on course. Obviously there is no square. You're kind of aiming up, aiming based on where you're trying to start the ball and what you're trying to do from a shot shape perspective. But even if I was trying to hit it down that line, my feet and my shoulders would probably be massively left, I think.
Interesting. Okay.
And
Yeah,
ball
we'll
maybe
see.
even more forward.
And I suppose the other question to ask, for the purpose of the video, is do you still have the club back from the ball when you do that?
It's a very good question.
Yeah.
It's a very good question. Yes, I do. Only because it now gets so far forward, in front of my left toe, that I don't feel comfortable again doing that. I would feel like I'm almost having to reach and jump into my left side to get there.
Yeah.
So I leave it back in a more natural position. So for me, I'd almost start with the club somewhat aiming straight, and then the balls are now going to be outside my left foot, and I would be. I mean, to be honest, my feet line probably quite square, because when I stand square, my feet do that. But my hips are pointing probably a bit left, and my shoulders get massively left. My shoulders are probably pointing.
Yeah, they do.
Right.
My shoulders do get open. Yeah, that's for sure. I can see that from back here.
Again, for me, that just moves my path left. It's like a cheat, really. Otherwise, if I can't swing left any other way. That would be more of my on-course shot than swing. Just much more repeatable, I suppose. For me, I think that when I get 6 inside, like we said, it just brings in that two-way miss. If I just go left, out, turn, 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 there's only 1.8 out to in.
Yeah, nice.
So it's kind of been 3 in a row there that are like perfect little fades down the middle, which is exactly why I do that on course.
Yeah, it's nice. Very repeatable, isn't it? It's sort of landing around that 280 carry, very repeatable. Not a huge amount of shape either, is it? It's quite a soft fade.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And even though my ball position is outside my left foot and my shoulders are aiming there, my path's only 1.8 left.
Yeah.
If a lot of people did that, that would get them 12, 14 left probably.
100%, yeah. Like I said, you do have this move in your swing where you do kind of reroute the club a little bit down and sort of behind you.
Yeah.
And again, that enables you to be able to do that. A lot of people from that position where they get a bit out and up here, they're just going to go
down and left.
Yeah. So you have that kind of uniqueness to your swing.
Almost when I'm going that way, my bad habit, why I get it so behind me is like I do that, my hips kind of go this way and my chest goes that way. And that's where I get so inside and the club drops like there and I hit blocks and hooks.
Yep.
If I'm trying to feel like I can keep that chest a little bit more on top of the ball almost and just feel like I can just, it's kind of my feeling. So I just keep turning and stay more on top of the ball. It stops that. And it just goes bloody anywhere. I think I can get, club speed 116 now. I feel like it's much easier to ramp it up from this, for me anyway.
Interesting.
Because I feel like if I put the ball forward and I sort of like drop this left hip back, I've just got this big pocket of space here. Okay. I can just rip my hands into the rope. Normally gets me a little bit more speed, if anything, rather than less speed.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was a complete miss hit, but club speed jumps to 118 and I mean, it's really not that far offline at all, is it?
Not at all, no. And that's always trying to work back as well, isn't it? So it's always coming back to target. That little fade shot then, even though it started quite far left, that's still finishing 19 yards left of the centre line at 289 carry, 308 total.
Yeah.
Like you're in the left edge of fairway. Like that's pretty damn good, yeah. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? Like just different deliveries. We talk about this a lot in our videos. You've got to be really, really conscious of what your delivery is, really, isn't it? You know, if you're going to make these changes or implement these tips, you know, for you're somebody who maybe wants to just to feel a little bit more of a fade. So maybe you need to try something a bit different. But certainly for me, I definitely felt like that dropping that club back was like, it's a bit of a game changer. I've been doing it for a while and my on-course results with driver are just so different. So different.
And I'm doing the polar opposite to you. And I'm the same. Like me driving it like this is much more repeatable. If you did what I'm doing now, you'd probably get 10 left and you'd be hitting just high, spinny, floaty cuts that go nowhere.
I would, yeah, I would.
So again, all comes down to what you need to do, really.
Cool.
Hope you enjoyed that. We'd love to get your feedback in the comments below. Let us know what you thought of this video. Let us know what you want to see. We're trying to get you more and more content out, so we'd love to hear some ideas from you guys. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. We'll see you in the next one.